Welcome to seeing this channel. In this video you will find more about what is littering. Therefore my colleagues and I will elaborate more about our chosen topic, littering. We will be talking about littering in this University of Goroka campus, describing the impacts it has towards the environment, the academic structure, health, students and staffs, and lastly, strategies to change littering with approaches of a behavior development theory. Littering is the act of improperly disposing waste in public or private spaces, such as streets, sidewalks, parks, beaches, waterways, schools, and other communal areas. This behavior involves discarding items like cigarette butts, food wrappers, plastic bottles, cane chopping bags, and betel nut skins. Other outside of designated disposal bins or recycle containers. Littering is not only an eyesore that distracts from the beauty of natural and urban environments, but also causes serious environmental, economic, and health-related consequences. It contributes to pollution, harms wildlife, contaminates water sources, and can lead to increased costs for cleanup efforts by local governments and communities. According to a study by the NSW Environment Protection Authority or EPA, it not only makes area appear dirty and unpleasant, but also harm the environment, wildlife, and public health. It is a complex problem with various causes, from individual carelessness to systematic issues impacting communities in various ways. With that, my fellow colleagues will elaborate more.
Littering is the careless disposal of waste materials in public places instead of using proper bins. It is a growing problem in communities around the world, causing serious harm to the environment, wildlife, and human health. From plastic bottles on sidewalks to food wrappers in rivers. Litter not only make our surroundings look dirty but also pollutes the land, water, and air. Despite knowing its harmful effects, many people continue to litter due to laziness, lack of awareness, or poor waste management system. Addressing littering is important for creating a cleaner, safer, and more sustainable environment for everyone. Littering reflects a careless and irresponsible attitude towards the environment and society. When people deliberately throw rubbish in public places, they show a lack of respect for the surrounding and the well-being of others. This behavior often comes from laziness, ignorance, or an "it's not my problem" mindset. Instead of taking a few extra steps to find a bin or dispose the waste properly, some chose the easy way out, leaving behind the plastic, papers, or food wrappers in places where it does not belong. This negative attitude not only pollutes the environment but also sets a bad example for others, especially children who may grow up thinking it is normal or acceptable to litter. Furthermore, the habit of littering contributes to greater environmental destruction and public health risks. Items like plastic bottles, cigarette butts, and food packaging can take years or even centuries to decompose, during which time they may harm wildlife, clog drainage system, and pollute waterways. When litter accumulates, it creates breeding ground for pests and bacteria that can spread diseases. People with a negative attitude towards waste disposal often ignore these consequences, thinking their small action won't have a big impact. But when thousands or millions of individuals act the same way, the result is widespread pollution and damage that is expensive and difficult to clean up. Negative attitude of littering also weakens community pride and social responsibility. Areas affected by constant litter often appears neglected and unsafe, leading to lower property values and less tourism. People are less likely to care for places that are already dirty, and this can lead to a cycle of neglected and decay. In contrast, clean and well-maintained environment encourage people to take pride in their community and work together to protect them. Unfortunately, those who litter usually show no concern for their neighbors or the shared responsibility of keeping public spaces clean. This selfish and thoughtless behavior not only damages the planet but also breaks down the sense of unity and cooperation that strong communities depend on. The attitude of littering by students at the University of Goroka often stems from a combination of behavioral, cultural, institutional, and environmental factors. Here is a breakdown of likely contributing attitudes and reasons behind this behavior. 1. Lack of environmental awareness. Many students may not fully understand the environmental effect or impact of littering. Without strong education or campaigns about waste management, students might not prioritize cleanliness or environmental responsibility. 2. Peer influence and social norms. If littering is common among peers and not socially discouraged, students may adopt a similar attitude. When others litter without consequences, it creates a norm that makes it seems acceptable. 3. Insufficient waste disposal facilities. A lack of accessible or well-maintained bins can discourage proper waste disposal. If students don't see convenient places to throw trash, they may simply drop it on the ground. And finally, negligence and laziness. Some students may be aware that littering is wrong, but do it out of laziness, especially if they feel it's someone else's job to clean it up. This can stem from a lack of personal responsibility or ownership of the campus environment.
Littering in the University of Goroka school campus by students and staffs poses significant challenges that extend beyond mere aesthetics. It negatively impacts the environment, public health, social dynamics, and the academic atmosphere. The accumulation of waste can lead to pollution, attract pests, and create hazardous conditions for both people and wildlife. Additionally, a littered campus fosters a negative social school culture, detracts from the educational experience, and incurs economic costs related to cleanup efforts. Addressing littering is essential to promoting a healthier, safer, and more responsible school environment for everyone. Littering on the school campus by students and staffs can have numerous negative impacts, ranging from environmental effects to social and academic implications. Here's a detailed analysis of the potential impacts. Number one, environmental impact. Pollution of surrounding. Litter can contaminate soil and water sources, leading to pollution. For instance, plastic waste can take hundreds of years to decompose, posing long-term environmental hazards. Harm to wildlife. If the school campus has green space or a near neutral habitat, litter can threaten local wildlife. Animals may ingest harmful materials or become entangled in waste materials. Aesthetic degradation. Litter negatively affects the visual appeal of the campus, making it less inviting for students, staffs, and visitors. An unkempt environment can lead to a perception of neglect. Number two, health hazards. Spread of disease. Litter can attract pests such as rats and insects, which can carry diseases. Uncollected waste can lead to unsanitary conditions, creating health risks for students and staffs. Physical injuries. Discarded sharp objects, food waste, and hazard materials can pose physical risk, especially in places where students gather, leading to injuries. 3. Social impact. School culture and morale. A littered campus may reflect a lack of pride and responsibility within the school community. This can lead to a negative school spirit, impacting student morale and involvement in activities. Peer influence. Littering behavior can spread among students and staffs, leading to a culture of irresponsibility. If some individuals can litter, others may feel encouraged to do the same. 4. Academic impact. Distracting from learning. A dirty campus can distract students and staffs, hindering their focus and productivity. A cluttered environment makes it harder to concentrate and can reduce overall academic performance.
Furthermore, I am going to talk about the strategies to change littering in the University of Goroka using a few behavioral development theory. As my colleagues mentioned already on littering, littering is some kind of bad behavior that students and staffs are practicing in the University of Goroka. PNG school, college, and higher learning institutions are rife with students and staffs who do not seem to care for the rule of the school. University of Goroka is no exception. There has to be a chance for the betterment of this country. It needs Papua New Guinea to make changes, happen for the good of Papua New Guinea. According to few behavioral development theory, one fundamental approach drawn from behavior development is operant conditioning, which posits that behavior is shaped by its consequence. To reduce littering, UOG can implement strategies based on reinforcement and punishment. This would involve positive reinforcement such as publicly acknowledging and rewarding individuals, students, group or residential areas that consistently maintain clean surroundings. Simply recognizing certificates or even small incentives could encourage desired action like using bins. Conversely, negative consequences are cruel for discouraging misbehavior. This might include clear communicate fines for littering enforced through campus security or designated staffs. For instance, a visible 50 guinea spot fine for littering site coupled with consistent application act as a clear deterrent, while positive reinforcement for compliant behavior often yield better long-term results by shifting the focus toward desired action rather than just avoiding punishment. Another powerful theory learned is social cognitive theory, which emphasizes the role of observational learning, social norms, and self-efficiency. People learn by observing others and their behavior in influenced by what they perceive as acceptable or expected within their social group. At UOG, leveraging social norms is vital.
To conclude, littering is the act of disregarding trash or waste in an improper or illegal way, rather than in designated receptacles like trash cans. Littering involves dropping, disposing, or leaving litter in an open area, like in the school campus in the University of Goroka. There are many attitudes and reasons behind this behavior or littering, such as lack of environmental awareness, peer influence and social norms, insufficient waste disposal facilities, negligence, and laziness. Littering on the school campus by students and staffs can have numerous negative impacts, ranging from environmental effects to school and academic implications, such as environmental impacts, health hazards, social impacts, academic impacts, economic impacts, and legal implications. Littering has become a social norm which we had analyzed and recommended strategies to change this bad attitude with the approaches of operant conditioning and social cognitive theory, which we believe it can systematically minimize the bad attitude of littering in the University of Goroka. PNG schools, colleges, and high learning institutions are rife with students and staffs who do not seem to care for the rule of the school. University of Goroka is no exception. If there has to be a change for the betterment of the country, it needs Papua New Guineans to make changes happen for the good of Papua New Guinea.